What's up, guys? So I told you I would do a gear layout and what I bring to MSW West. So I'm going to start with my sustainment gear and then move over towards my kit and what's on my person. When it comes to these events, I have a philosophy of if you may not need it, don't bring it. And to try to level set the suck factor across the entire spectrum of the event. So that way it's not like you're carrying a bunch of stuff so the ruck in sucks, and then we're leveling that out with extra food and cold weather gear and stuff like that. I kind of like to level set it, so I go pretty minimalist on most everything, but it's still pretty comfortable. So we'll just jump right in here. So starting over here on the left, we have what is my sleep system and my sustainment. So this is just a rumple. It's a civilian version of a whoopee. I've got my inflatable pillow to blow into it, and I've got my bivvy. I don't bring a sleeping bag unless it's going to be real cold. This thing actually keeps me pretty warm. Inside my my bivvy, we're going to have the sleeping mat. Now this sleeping mat blows up. It's a Nemo, and it's fantastic. It comes with this super tactical pump sack, and basically just like you blow into it, right? You blow into the end, and then it just kind of blows up. So right, a lot of air. So it's better than just and then you roll it up and air blows out the bottom attaches there, and it's way better than having to actually blow directly into something. So it takes about 3 breaths, and this thing is fully pumped up. I'll have this already inside the bivvy. I'll have all of this right here already inside the bivvy and set up to sleep. So once I blow that up, slide right in the bivvy, and I'm ready to go to sleep. I have my tarp. This is I forget what it's called, like an aqua nest or something like that. But anyway, it's got tie downs everywhere. It's got tie downs on the corners, and it's got tie downs through the middle. I don't know where it's at. But anyways, across the top there's tie downs, 5 tie downs, where I can make this into a lean-to, I can make it into a tent, I can make it into pretty much whatever because of all the tie downs that are on it. Now, what I do is take all of my extra clothing items and a lot of my stuff that I'm really either probably not going to use, like any of this, or stuff that if I need it, right, like if I'm going to change, I'm going to have time to unroll this, because all of this is basically going to be rolled up into a bedroll, and it's going to be sat on top of my pouch, right? So this is all going to roll up into a nice little neat bedroll, and it's pretty fantastic, and I'll show that later. All right, moving on to my person, right? So this is my plate carrier. I know a lot of people don't like to run plate carriers. A whole bunch of people are like, I like the chest rig. I like the real estate that comes with the plate carrier. I'm a pretty small dude, so everything I can get kind of helps to be able to carry stuff. So we'll just go through this. On the front, it's pretty simple. I've got mags. I have this deadlight, flashes. Don't really use it a whole bunch unless I'm like dead and walking back. I've got my little portable fan. This is great for defogging. Always 100% of the time on every march in we stop, fog. So this thing is fantastic for dealing with that. I'm going to be trying this guy out. It goes around your neck, blows air up towards your face. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to try it out. So it's there. We've also got my dangler, right? And so my dangler just carries stuff. I'll have tools in here. It's got my medic card. I've got electrolyte tablets. I've got my aspirin. I've got defogger. I've got a little camo stick down in here. So this is just like a knick-knack of stuff that I might need to use, and I don't want to dig through my ruck to get to, or I may need it while I'm out on patrol. Also got defogging wipes and a bunch of zip ties down in here. I've got my poncho, and where I keep my poncho is going to depend on whether or not rain's expected. If we are expecting rain, it'll come with me. If not, it'll stay inside my pack. I've also got food, and we'll talk about food and what food I bring, but I do keep food in some of these pouches. I'll have a hat for when I don't want to wear my helmet. I'll have a hat on me, and of course my handy dandy MSW West tourniquet. But onto the back, get my shadow off there. I've got a couple pouches. This is my knots pouch. So my night vision, my thermal monocular, all the batteries, everything I need to operate that goes inside this. It's a TNVC. It's fantastic, really is. It's padded. On the back of my plate carrier, I've got a backpack that is actually mollied in, so it doesn't, actually it does come off, sorry, this is the other one. So it does come off, it actually zips on. So if I needed it to come off, it can, but it's really handy. I've got pouches on the side of it. I've got my bladder, of course, that stays there, and you know, lots of room for activities inside all of these pouches. A lot of this is going to be food. The poncho goes in there if it's coming with me. On the other side, I've got my frag bag. This will have a bunch of grenades in it. Any extra grenades also kind of go down in there. My Gerber goes here. My Gerber is, yeah. So my Gerber goes with me wherever I go for a multitude of uses. And of course my radio, which I've got my push to talk and got my down leads. So that's kind of what I wear for my kit. The helmet, I like the helmet, not for the sake of the helmet, but obviously I need a helmet for my night vision. I'm not a huge Skull Crusher fan, just don't like it. I've got the Peltors on it for comms, and that's one of the big reasons I wear it too, is for the comms, because walking around at night and your radio is just screaming into the darkness, probably not the best. These gaiters, highly recommend gaiters. They go around, never use gaiters. Basically, they go around your leg like that, and they protect your feet from, or in your lower pants, from getting wet and stuff like that. Highly recommend headlamp. This one with a red light option. This one I would probably end up wearing it, and I normally do end up wearing these around my neck the entire event, just because I forget to take it off. This pretty much becomes a necklace for me, and I've always got it. I've also got this guy just kind of dangling, and that's just a nice to have. It doesn't really add any weight. So on to what I use for a ruck. So I don't use a ruck. Reason I don't use a ruck is I'm old, I'm broken, I've got back problems, and the way that the ruck pulls on my back is not great, even if it doesn't have a whole lot in it. So what this is a prairie belt, and I can link this in the description. But basically, you know, here's the suspension, right? And I can put this on over my plate carrier. It doesn't interfere with the backpack. It just sits nicely on top of everything. I've got pouches on either side, and I've got a big butt pouch here. What goes in my prairie belt and what will go in your ruck, or what you could put in your ruck, is food. I like a couple things I bring. For my big meals, I bring oatmeals. Now, they're not as dense on calories. They're not as dense on calories as, you know, some other foods, but you could eat it cold, right? You don't have to have hot water to eat it. You can also, you know, you just add water to the heater and you get instant hot food, which is nice. One of the other things I like to bring is Fuel for Life. 110 calories, but it's got 10 grams of protein, it's got a decent number of carbohydrates, and it also provides some pretty decent hydration, right? And you just suck this down. There's a nice little 100 calories with some protein. So good for on the move. I take those hiking and backpacking with me. I take all, actually this is my backpacking setup. The other pouch, more snacky stuff. I'm a big fan of Cliff Bars. Cliff Bars will stop you up so that you don't have to shit in the woods like a bear. Also a fan of, you know, energy chews. You know, pretty much here's some straight glucose right into your body. That kind of stuff is great. Just if you do it, be careful, because it may counteract the effect of the Crunch Bars or Cliff Bars. Of course, in here I've got my bags. I've got some fire starter. I've never made a fire at MSW West, but again, this is my backpacking setup, so it's just what I've got in here for normal backpacking stuff. This is charcoal, but it is the little pucks that you use for smoking hookah. If you have a lighter, you pretty much get instant, constant heat. And that's really what you need when you're trying to start fire, right? Is a consistent heat. And this is small, light, portable. It's fantastic. It has never failed me to get stuff started, even in the rain, in the cold. Highly recommend. I've also got, so this right here, this is actually a glow-in-the-dark panel, and it's for identification during our march, so that, you know, this first night I've met my squad, nobody knows my face. Hey, I'm just the short guy in multicam like everybody else that's under 5'6". So this helps identify me. And I got my wipes, some more tape, just little knick-knack things. So there's a lot of space in here, right? That you really, you talk about what you need, you don't really need a whole ruck to pack, you know, unless you're packing just excessive amounts of stuff. I was talking about with the bedroll over there. It lashes in right here. So I'll roll it up. I've got the 2 straps over there that will lash it up and keep it in place. And then that straps it into the pack, and it works great. Oh, and one pair of socks inside a nice handy wrap double zipper seal plastic baggie. And that way if I need to change socks, I don't have to completely unroll the bedroll just to change a pair of socks. And given that this is a 3-day op, hopefully that's not too often, right? So I'll get the rest of this, I'll get all of this kind of like packed up, and you see what it looks like once it's done. All right, so this is everything inside the bivvy. You know, my tarp is going to go around the bivvy. One thing I did want to touch on is, I talked about socks. Buy good socks. If you're going to do this, you know, if this is your first MSW West, okay, you know, bring what you got. But if you're going to do this, or if you're going to go backcountry camping or hiking a lot, buy good socks. I highly recommend Darn Tough. What is it? Yeah, Darn Tough. Right, Darn Tough socks. Normally, I'll wear one of these the entire weekend and be just fine. The other thing is underwear. Again, if this is your first MSW West, do what you do. But if you're going to be outdoors hiking and whatnot, I highly recommend Sacks. Right, go read the story on how they were invented. But again, that's something that is so good for this like outdoors, in the woods kind of stuff, that I'll only wear one pair. I'll bring extras, but I'll only wear one pair the entire weekend. So I'm gonna get this wrapped up inside that, and then show you guys what it kind of all looks like together. And so this is basically the fit. All the weight of all this up here, pulling down, distributed across my hips. It's fantastic. It'll be a little bit tighter when I actually like do this. I gotta take this shit apart, but that's the general idea.